It's time for the weekly update, the conclusion of the service, and also a final song. The annual general meeting for the final reminder in regards to the postponed 2020 annual general meeting. It was supposed to be held at KAC on Sunday the 29th of March. Our Sydney Anglican Diocese has now given us clear directions, including 3 options in order to fulfil the functions of the annual general meeting. This needs to be completed by the month at the end of July the 31st. At its June meeting, our current parish council agreed unanimously to adopt the option that we will deal with the business of the deferred annual general meeting this year at a special meeting. At this July meeting, the parish council would meet on our behalf as the 2020 annual general meeting. And the AGM meeting would precede the usual second Wednesday monthly, the parish council meeting that commences July the 8th at 7:15. What will happen then? It'll be the receiving of the reports of the financial statements to approve the package of the budget and to re-elect the current holders of the positions of 2 wardens, 5 parish nominators, 2 synod reps, and an auditor for our finances. The parish council itself remains as elected from 2019. And for the positions appointed by your senior minister, I would reaffirm the current appointments that were made in 2019. The electronic bulletin that went out on Friday night contains all this information. If 10 or more parishioners object before next Wednesday, in writing to your Senior Minister Steve Stanis, this could prevent the Parish Council from undertaking this annual general meeting function. If you want to know any more information or details, please contact myself or one of our 3 wardens, Ivan King, Greg Holmes or Michael Birrell. What about Sundays? Sunday steps, taking them one at a time. Church Sunday Online coming together to fellowship at correct social distances continue with the 8:30 a.m, not p.m, or if you turn up then it'll be surprisingly late. It's a.m. at St Paul's at Minamurra and 9 a.m. at Church Point Centre at Kiama. Please come and join us. You have to register through the office or through the KAC links. Coming together to watch and share and fellowship at the church services on site with the online service. Keep watching though every week for any updates as things are evolving step by step, as church seeks to come back to full face-to-face services as soon as feasibly we can. We seek God's guidance in this regard. Till then though, take the steps together in fellowship, returning to KAC alive and fresh. We miss you, all welcome and catered for. The Revelation series has now concluded today. The next 2 weeks are 2 topical sermons that follow on so well from Revelation, from the series about the 7 churches. We look at why church next Sunday. The following week we're tackling racism. The message about racism is titled, "We need to talk about race when anti-racism is a start but not the end." To help you to reflect and think ahead for that particular sermon, this weekend, in the coming weekends ahead, there'll be short articles sent out that Mark McLaren, our preacher, has put together for us to help us to prepare and engage well for what is a challenging topic. What's happening after that? The Ecclesiastes series starts on July the 26th, and the Bible study notes will be available from next weekend. Preaching followed by prayer. Thank you for all who joined in for the 24 hours of prayer over the past weekend. Just want to ask if anybody had a sense from God, what God was saying through the prayers. We'd love to hear any responses to come in directly so we can share them with our church family. Please pray for our parish council that meets this week, as we know with the AGM coming and all that is before us, that we could seek wisdom, trust and assurance, being faithful in God. That's the weekly update. It was wonderful meeting together today in God's name as we conclude this series and this service, the 7 churches, and today as we reflect upon one church. Isaiah chapter 6 verse 8 reminds us, Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send? And who will go for us?" And I said, "Here am I, send me." Next Sunday, why church? Investigating afresh as to why we meet together as church. Hebrews chapter 10 verse 25 reminds us in these words, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you'll see the day approaching. Until that day. Revelation chapter 4 verse 8. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. To them and to us, Jesus, come Lord, come. Grace and peace.